I feel like there's this energy that, and it's exhilaration, and it's love, and it's freedom, and it's security, and it's well-being, and I can just tune to that, and it's just right there. And I'm really getting what you say, the whole world is different. It's just fun, and it's just, I just love. I don't even have to, I just think I love. And I'm just opening more and more to it, and I'm appreciating it, and I see all these things just falling into my lap, and I'm really liking that. And I'm wanting to just open as much as I can to it, and I do. And it's really just wanting, I don't know.
Do you find that as you focus it, it is more meaningful?
Yes.
As you're speaking here in general terms, it's really a wonderful way of alignment, but as you focus it into more specific beingness, you're finding it satisfying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Although I keep going into the general. I stay in the general a lot.
We would too.
Okay. And then when something's needed or something's happening that needs more specific, it flows in.
Or when the general has created an environment or a nucleus where there is no contradiction to the vortex, then the vortex contents begin to flow into your experience where you are able to translate it into reality.
Right. And that is what's happening. And I guess I'm just wanting as much, I feel like I have a lot of clarity, and I feel like I have a lot of discernment, but I'm wanting more. And I'm just looking to see if there's...
What we can feel from many of you, this is the part that's tripping a lot of you up, because if you've been listening to us for a while, and many of you have, we've been talking about deliberate creation. And many of you came from an environment where you were wanting to be deliberate about your work. You were goal setters, you were achievers, you were teachers, you're uplifters. In other words, you want to make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. So you were oriented toward the idea of making things happen, not wanting to be lackadaisical, not wanting to be unfocused, not wanting to be unpurposeful. You wanted that. And so coming from an environment like that, you sort of, and so did we, superimposed the idea of deliberate creation into the idea of being more deliberate about what you are wanting. And in the process of that, many people got more specific about what they wanted than their vibration was ready to allow. And when that happens, the frustration factor becomes greater. In other words, if you are living life in a very strong way and you are asking and asking and asking and asking for things that you are not quite vibrationally up to speed with, that we're talking about you in general, then there's a gap that is uncomfortable. Then we began soothing that gap by encouraging you into a number of different processes that lowered your rate of resistance and therefore allowed you to be the receivers of what you've been asking for. This latest conversation about the vortex and its vibrational contents of everything that matters to you, and the grid, which is your point of attraction, the juxtaposition of those two concepts in the minds of these deliberate creators is the most helpful analogy that has come along in a while, because it helps you to understand how things are moving from their vibrational state of being, where you can't see them, hear them, smell them, taste or touch them, but you can sense them, you can feel them, into conversations, into ideas, into things that are exciting and meaningful and tangible. Which brings us to the part of this conversation that we always enjoy the most, which is reminding you all that you are spiritual beings, yes, but you are materialized here. You have manifested here, and you are creators of that which is manifested. In other words, there is a struggle within many people where they're sort of holding back from the creation, as if you somehow think that it is wrong to be out here on the leading edge as these fully functioning, manifesting, tasting, touching, involved in life experience beings. And so we're feeling just a little bit of that, even in the conversation that we're having here. that it is a nice thing when you reach the place that you are speaking of creation conceptually like you are, and you are using emotionally descriptive words. But nothing is more fun than to walk through an airport and rendezvous with the people who are on the same vibrational wavelength that you are, so that you can have meaningful exchanges. There's nothing more satisfying than to conjure. It feels like you've conjured the idea because you are interpreting vibration that you have allowed to flow. You see, that's a distinction that we really want to offer. Esther's not conjuring these ideas. Esther is in a vibrational place of receptivity, in a vibrational place of translating of them. But the conjuring of the ideas has taken place in the vortex. It's taken place, it's been summoned by the masses. It is specifically being summoned by those of you who are participating in this room today. Mm-hmm. And so Esther is not conjuring, she's allowing the interpretation of what you have collectively conjured or summoned, you see. And that's always the way that it is. Creation is about nothing more than the preparation of the grid, because the true creation happened long before this moment. That's really what we want you to hear. The creation happened before this moment, and it happened during those moments of consternation, during those moments that you felt like you wanted to not have, during those moments of contrast, during those moments of not getting what you want, during those moments in which negative emotion was present. That's when you did the creating. That's when the creative work is taking place. That's why, if you can accept that, you'll get to the place where you'll celebrate every ornery moment.
That's where I am.
You'll celebrate all of them. And when you celebrate it all, that means you've accepted the wholeness, the perfection, the goodness that is you. You're the only one who can grant yourself worthiness, you see. Humans are running around asking someone else to pronounce them worthy. And we say, you got to pronounce yourself worthy. You got to do it. You got to find the place for it. You got to do it. And you do it piece by piece, experience by experience. You do it by wanting something that you're not letting in, and then you somehow figure out how to let in. That's how you do it. And the more you do that, the more worthy you feel. And the more worthy you feel, the more good flows in. And the more good flows in, the less contrast you have. And then you say, time for some more contrast. Time for some more contrast.
That's exactly what I said the other night.
I cannot stand still and just explore what is for very long.